that is Saga of the Soul, we were discussing the philosophy. And we have covered so many philosophy, now we have come to this Samkhya philosophy. So we will, again, today, we will discuss about the very special point of Samkhya, that is the creation. But before that, let us all chant this unique mantra to remind us who we really are. Naham manusho nacha devayakshaha na brahmana na kshatriya vaishya shudraha na brahmachari na grihi vanasthava bhikshu na cha aham nija bodha sarupa. The bodha sarupa, I am not this, I am not this, I am not this, and all the stages of life, that all being negated. I am not this, I am not this. Then who am I? Ultimately I am the consciousness. And that consciousness, and most of our Upanishad, our Vedanta, they talk about that consciousness. But how you are going to that consciousness? With something which is not conscious. There is this physical body. This our mind. These are not consciousness. But we have no other option but to have this thing to reach to that point. So that is the main thing. We are going through non-conscious, taking the help of the non-conscious to reach to the conscious. So that is exactly what the Samkhya is giving us, this idea. On the 2nd July, as because there are different type of programs are coming, we could not continue every Sunday. Like the next Sunday again, there will be a retreat, a beautiful retreat will be by our Swami, who is coming from Singapore. And dedication, that is the topic. We all will go. I think many of you will go to the Ganges retreat. In that beautiful, the natural atmosphere, we will discuss about the philosophy. So naturally, I will be there. So this Sunday, coming Sunday, I won't be here. So today, I like to complete this Samkhya. This is the second part. And this Samkhya Karika, it was composed by Kapila, realized by Kapila. It's not composed, it is realized. So he realized that his thought, his intellect, and all that gave that the Samkhya. And Samkhya metaphysics and its doctrine of Prakruti is a very important. That has influenced the many. The Shankas, the philosophy of this, the Prakruti. It's a theory of causation, which is famous as Satkaryavada. I think many of you can remember, those who attended the previous class, Satkaryavada. There's a terminology used. This Satkaryavada, this terminology, the effect exists in the material cause even before its production. That's called Satkaryavada. This is Sanskrit terminology, but the meaning is the effect is already there even before the production. Now, when we see a human being, then that is the production. But where from it came? That we are going to get the answer. And all this world, so many varieties, where from all these things came, we are going to get that answer. Now, there is some conscious being and also non-conscious, that is also there. How these different type of things came, And who is the creator? One, this question they will be answering through one beautiful theory that's called Prakruti Purusha theory. That's the main theory of the Samkhyas. The effects exist in the material cause even before the product. Now, Satkaryavada again is having two different, we can say, forms. What are that forms? Satkaryavada means that effect is coming from the cause, right? Now, how is the effect? Permanent effect? Real effect? In Sanskrit they say Parinamavada. We have to keep in mind the Parinamavada. Parinama means the real effect. Now, as we gave that example, the milk is becoming yogurt. The cause is the milk, effect is the yogurt. That you all know. But can yogurt again go back and become milk? At least not now. Maybe the science will develop something and they will change the yogurt into milk. We do not know. At least at the time of our Samkhya, it was not there, and our time also it is not there. So we can safely quote this: the milk becoming yogurt is a real transformation. It can never go back to the original. Another is Bibartavada. Bibarta means apparent transformation. So we have to accept this Bibartavada. Shankaracharya is also accepting the Bibartavada. Otherwise, we can never go back to the root. We can never go back to the cause. We are all effect. We are all product. But the product, what is the cause? That is the question. Each and every one is asking this question, searching for this answer. What is the cause? Effect we can understand. What is the cause? And some people, after taking some food, they will ask, what is the recipe? And most of the cook, they will give a wonderful smile but won't disclose. Because if they disclose the recipe, then their specialty will be lost. So that is why even we say God has created. Some majority of the people, they think God has created. There must be some intelligent being above us, beyond us. We are limited and He is all powerful. So He is having all knowledge. He is having all capacity. And He can do things in whatever way He likes. That is the conception of God. What is God? Is this. Why? Again, this question. Why the human being constantly searching for God? What is the necessity of God? Without God, we are fine. But the question, they're constantly hunting, that is, who is the source actually? What is the source? So here, Samkhya comes to give us the answer. What then is the cause of the world? The question was asked over there. It cannot be the self or the Purusha. Purusha, another terminology that Samkhya has used. Purusha means something which is inside. It is not the male body. It is something, the consciousness which is inside every being. Pura sthita iti, Purusha. Pura means in the house. A Paurashabha in India, they say Paurashabha, that means the houses. Because there, the Pura Sthita, that is called Purusha, and that is the self, that is the consciousness, that is completely different. It can never create. The moment you are creating, then obviously you are also coming into that creation. That cannot be. Now in the Upanishad, if we go, many of the Upanishads we have already studied, and after this philosophy again, we will go back to the Upanishad. And we know that in the Upanishad it says, Tad srishtva tadeva anupravishat. That's a famous statement. There's someone which is Brahman, which is consciousness, he created this and then entered into this. The moment you read this type of statement, you think, oh, that means everything that we see is nothing but the God. And where is God? Here only. Beyond this, no, it cannot be, because God has entered into it. How can it be other? So when we are making a material, we bring the wood or something, we make the furniture, and the stock of the wood is consumed, exhausted, utilized. You cannot expect that all this material should be there. At the same time, the wood will also be there. No, that is not possible. Similarly, when the God is creating this universe, is he exhausted? So that is the reason we cannot accept Parinamavada. Parinama means complete, the real transformation. That's called Parinama. So we have to accept Vivartavada. So here, Samkhya, they say in this way, the Vivartavada, how there must be something else, not the self, but something not self, but having the same quality. It is eternal, it is all powerful, it is all pervading, it is all knowledge, but it is not the self. So the conception of Prakruti came. So this is the conception, this is the philosophy. Yesterday one gentleman came, a young man, and he told, I am interested in studying the Buddhism. I just wanted to know what about the Hinduism or something like that. And then about the creation he said, it is only shunya, there is nothing. Not all the Buddhists follow that. A group of Buddhists, a school of Buddhism, they think it is shunya. Shunya means completely nil, nothing is there. Then we have to accept a very peculiar concept. Something can be created out of nothing. Sometimes the magic, they will show only one stick in their hand, they will show like this, and so many things are created. Something out of nothing, we do not believe it. There must be something, must be there, which is completely different. So something out of nothing, absurd. It is not possible. So here it comes, something must have come from something. What is that? I was giving that example to that young man. See, this type of question was asked by a student to his teacher. Actually, they were father and the son. When the son, the student, he was asking the question, how this Brahman, what is this Brahman? Then, just to make him understand, he said, you better go and bring that particular fruit, is a fig tree. And from the fig tree, he plucked one fruit, brought to the father, then the father told, break it. He broke it. Then he said, what are there? The small, small seeds. Okay, take one seed, tiny little seed, and break it. And he broke it. What is there? Nothing. Now the father said, something must be there, which you cannot identify, which you cannot see at this moment. But there must be there, otherwise how this tree is coming? From the tiny little seed, such a big tree is coming. That means something must be there. But when you break, we don't see anything. You cannot say it is completely nil. Sri Ramakrishna also said, in the daytime you cannot see the stars. Does it mean there is no star? No, they are there. You cannot. So this way, all this, now we will concentrate to the only Samkhya. The Samkhya says, the Charvaka, Buddhists, Jains, Nyaya, Vaishashika, they all forward one atom theory. Atom means the minutest part, and that minutest part from the Panchatattva, earth, water, light, air, something. So from there that minutest part, and that is the material. Each and every one accept there is a cause, an intelligent being. Someone call it Jehovah, someone call it God, someone call it Allah, someone call it Bhagavan, Ishvara. They are all creating. That is okay. We can understand that. But out of what? That is the main problem. Out of what? Now simply you say that God created out of these, out of that. No. God created in the Monday, He created this. Tuesday, He created this. Wednesday, He is creating this. But out of what? So that question is always, they have tried to answer this question. And they say, the Samkhya object to the theory of all this and asking, who then create the subtle product like the mind, intellect, ego, etc.? See, in India, thousands of years, lot of this arguments, counter arguments, questioning, answering, inquiring, that was going on. The philosophy means to reach to the truth, and not only intellectually, but by realization also. So that is the uniqueness in this Hindu philosophy, Indian philosophy. They always try to reach to the truth, and all are free to express their views. I have reached up to this. And then somebody comes and says, this is good, you have reached much. But then again, so the question comes, well, I accept, from the atom, material has come. From the atom it is okay. But what about the intellect, about the mind, about the ego, which are all very, very subtle. If we could really handle the mind, all problems were solved. Where from the pain comes, we suffer, that we are very much afraid of. We go to God not for the pleasure, we can make. We go not to give us pain. We are all afraid of pain. Don't create problem for me, otherwise I am all right. So we go to God because the problem of pain and pleasure is coming. So naturally, where it is coming? In the body? No, it's in the mind. And who is actually having this idea? Who is actually realizing this, the pain and pleasure? Ego. In the mind there is the ego, and that ego is only having this problem. So they say the Samkhya is objecting this, and then he says ultimate cause of the world must be, now you please notice, ultimate cause is unintelligent principles, and which is uncaused, eternal, all-pervading. Now that is Samkhya's view. Now next, when we will come to Vedanta, that another view. So today we are studying the Samkhya. So that they say unintelligent principle, and which unintelligent means it is not consciousness, it is not self. At the same time, it is uncaused. You cannot ask about the cause of the Prakruti. Then it will go on asking what is this, what is that. In philosophy, you have to stop in one place, and on the basis of that you have to decide. We can go on asking who created Brahman? No, that you cannot ask. But that is the ultimate thing. We have to reach over there. So in the philosophy, there is a system. When I anchor on this decision, you cannot ask about the cause of that. Here they say eternal, all-pervading, and this is the Prakruti of the Samkhya. In a general experience, everyone we know, cause is the subtler than the effect, and it pervades the effect. Cause is the subtler than the effect, and it pervades the effect. So what is the cause? That someone started crying. So what happened? You were all right. Suddenly, why you are crying? Now I got a news. What is the news? That someone very close to me, he is suffering or passed away, something happened. So the cause is very subtle. Effect is we can see. So whatever actually we experience is the effect, not the cause. So this we have to understand. What is the philosophy for? so that we can understand our problem and we can adjust, and then we can live as long as we are living happy. So that is the cause and the effect. Cause is so subtle, we cannot understand the cause, but we can understand the effect of it. So that is called cause and effect. And that is, Samkhya put forward Prakruti as the ultimate cause of the world. Now we are coming to the Samkhya directly, that Prakruti is the cause of this world. Then Prakruti is the first cause of all being and thing, and it has no cause. So second step is, Prakriti is the cause of this world, and it is the first cause. So you cannot go, Acha, why, who created the Prakriti? No, this is the first cause. And from there only all the things are coming, and it has no cause. Existence of Prakriti as the ultimate cause of the world is proved by inference. Now, many of you who are regularly attending this philosophy class, you know, almost all philosophy, they give some idea about the proof. When I am telling you something, what is the proof? We have to prove, right? Everywhere, anything, we have to prove. You know, that person is like this. What is the proof? So either you have to take a photo or some other thing. Some proof is necessary for everything in our life. So this is the proof, but for inference. And you know, the proof are different type: pratyaksha, anumana, pramana, shabda. Do you remember those things? Many of you. So the pratyaksha, direct proof. Then the anumana, inference. The shabda is the scripture. And the scripture, not anyone writing the scripture, not on that like. A shabda means those who have already realized the truth, their words. That's called shabda. That's called scripture. So these are the, and now they say you cannot have the direct pratyaksha pramana. It is not possible. I go and claim to other friends and brothers, my mother loves me most. You cannot prove the love. The love is so subtle. So how to prove that there is no pratyaksha pramana? You cannot prove directly, right? Now inference. You see, when the sweet came or the cake came, the big portion of the cake mother kept for me. And she gave all small portion to you. It proves the mother loves me most. Inference. The cake is a cake, but the way it was distributed, so naturally that proves inference, the mother loves me most. And similar way, many other things are happening, inference. We only think in that way, and this is also another problem. If you are not properly utilizing this particular process or misutilizing it, the inference, he looked at me and without greeting went away, that means he doesn't like me. This is the inference, right? Wrong. Why? Because I went to London, as in America, anyone, known, unknown, the moment you come close, you just greet and smile, that much. But in London, when I entered into one cafe, some people were sitting over there, some few gentlemen, they were looking at me, maybe because of this dress. Then I greeted, but they became stern and turned their face. So what should be my inference? Why they became so angry? They don't like me or what? But in London, so many Asians are there, Indians are so many. They are accustomed to see this type of feature. Then how come they turned? Then someone told, no, in London, unless you are introduced, so they won't greet. That's social custom. So unless you know the background of an action, you may misunderstand it. So inference should be very properly utilized. So when we are going to prove something, we need the proof. A proof may be direct. Sometimes direct is impossible, so inference. And here the inference is this: all objects of the world, from intellect to the earth, means the gross, are limited and dependent on one another. All objects of the world are limited and dependent on one another. So there must be an unlimited independent cause for their existence. So this is the first inference. So when we see the intellect, and along with the intellect many other things are there, each and everything is depending on each other, otherwise they cannot survive. But that proves that there must be something which is the cause of it. As I told you that when I went to that the one university and I was asking the students where from the knowledge comes, they said, we receive knowledge from our professors. Where from the professors get the knowledge? Then he said, the answer was, maybe from the library. And then third question, library means books. Where from the books also get the knowledge? Answer was, we do not know. So what is the source of knowledge? Somebody is writing a book. Before that, he also learned. Writing a book and spreading his own knowledge is okay. But where from he received that? We do not know. It is Prakruti. And that Prakruti is not Samkhya Prakruti. It is in the nature. Each and everything is in the nature. There must be some one cause. Why I am giving this example? There must be some one cause, something from where all these are happening. So intellect and down to this earth, all are depending on each other. So one cause must be there. Second, all things of the world possess certain common characters. All things of the world are having some common characters. What are those? One is pleasure, another pain, and third is indifference. Pleasure, pain, and indifference. These are the three things. Always it happens. Now see how they have observed, and in subtle way they are going to reach to the truth. So each and everything having these three qualities. One is pleasure, one pain, and the indifference. Therefore, they must have a common cause from where three characters come. This is second. Third, they say, an effect arises from its cause and is again go back, resolved into it at the moment of its destruction. Now we see an earthen pot. Now it falls and breaks. Where that goes? Goes back to the earth. From the earthen pot came, and when it is destroyed, it goes back to the earth. Similarly, when we die, a human being, what happens to our body? We burn, we bury. That is not the answer. All these things, the components that we are already having in this, it must go back to the causes. If this is not science, then what is science? Most of the people, they think that religion is not science. Religion is very perfect science. See how the arguments goes. So naturally, there must be something from where it goes. As a glass full of water, I break it, then all those glasses, that goes back to some water, goes back to the water. So if that was a warm water, heat goes to the heat. So all that was created, that goes back to the source. Naturally, when this world is here, and we see so many things in this world, when they are destroyed, when they are breaking, when they are dying, they must be going back to the source. What is that source? So they say it is Prakruti. Thus we get one ultimate and unconditioned, all-pervading cause of the world, including everything but the self. Samkhya say, we cannot talk about the self, it is different. Vedanta will talk about the self. The Samkhya is coming after this, and Vedanta standing on that, the edifice of the Samkhya, they are developing another, and they are talking about the self. So that we will come to know afterwards. This not self cause, Samkhya says, and now the three names they are giving. One is Prakruti, about which we all know. Any student of philosophy, they know about the Prakruti. Then is Pradhana. The same Prakruti is also known as Pradhana, the fast cause. Pradhan means the fast. And then Abhyakta, unmanifested. Bhyaktya, manifested. Abhyakta, unmanifested. Prakriti is constituted by three gunas, Satya, Raja and Tama. Now, we know some of the things which is known to us, and this is the contribution of the Samkhya philosophy. Prakriti is constituted of three gunas. The Prakriti we are going on talking about, but what is this Prakriti? They have three qualities. Each and everything is having a quality. Without the quality, it has no value. If the sun is not giving the light, it has no value. It looks like sun, but it is not. If a human being is not behaving like a human, it looks like human, but in reality it is not. If it looks like human, having two hands, two legs and all that the human being is having, then why can't we call him as human? Because the human quality is absent in that. And sometimes, I don't know, in the aeroplane, they always announce smoking is prohibited, don't smoke. Not even the electronic smoking. I don't know what is that electronic smoking. Whether without creating the smoke, something this, I will try one day. So that is the electronic smoke. Anyway, they are including the electronic smoking also. That is, the some effect must be there. And here there must be, Prakriti is there, but what is this Prakriti actually? Quality. If there is no quality, then it's of no value. And quality is three, Satya, Raja and Tama. Very, very unique. And what are these gunas? They are asking this question. A constituent element or component and not attribute. Very clear. This is a constituent or a component, you can say. This Prakriti, these gunas, is not the attribute. Oh, he is fair looking. Oh, he is intelligent. It is an attribute. At the end of the name, the people they write MA, they delete, and all those things. The quality, and at the same time, it must be the quality, not only giving some name. So, constituent element, this is forming. What is that? What are the proofs of the existence of the gunas? Again, it comes. Now you say Prakriti. Prakriti is the first cause. Prakriti is the Pradhana, is the first. And Prakriti is Abhyakta. You cannot express. So then, how the proof is there? Satya, Raja, Tama is the constituent of three qualities. How we will know the three gunas are there? What is the proof of the guna? Now they say, because we cannot perceive the gunas. Perceive means we cannot see, we cannot touch, we cannot smell. So obviously, this may create doubt and samkhya as giving the proofs through inference again. Because the direct proof is impossible, inference. We all know that there is an essential identity, tadatma bhava, between the effect and its cause. Tad atma bhava. Effect and the cause must be some identity. We know the existence of the gunas from the nature of their products. The inference, where again thinking it is that. Now the effect and the cause, they are all the same. All objects of the world, from the intellect down to the ordinary object, are possessing three characters. One is pleasure, pain, and indifference. Now see how it comes. This is very important. Pleasure, pain, and indifference. We see one cause and three effect. Now, a rose delights the youth. Here's the philosophy, they are giving the example. A rose delights the youth. Same rose deject a dying person. When I am dying, you go and give the rose and he'll be, so naturally he feels dejected. But the gardener who produced the rose and sold it is indifferent. Whom you are giving and why you are giving, it doesn't bother. Same rose, same cause, effect are three. One, pleasure, another pain, another indifference. So naturally in this world, whatever we see, they will come either of these three. Victory of the war, another example they are giving. It elates the victor, depress the vanquished, and leave the third party apathetic. So that is the reason. Same cause, effect are different. What is the effect? Only three. First is pleasure, then the pain, and then the indifference. So each and everything that we see and observe is having these three qualities. And Samkhya, they say these three qualities are, they have given the name, sattva, pleasure, raja, pain, because of the activity the pain comes, and tamas, indifference. He doesn't bother what is happening. The tamas person, he'll be lying down. You know what happened? There's a game is going on and our team has won. Is it? Okay. Are you distributing any food for that? Celebrating? If not, I don't bother. So naturally, one thing, those who lost the game, they are going back and they are not at all happy. Those who, that team who has won, they are happy. And the third party is indifferent. I was coming from somewhere and I don't know much about this, the games, but I found that the whole airport was crowded and different type of the t-shirts they are wearing. And even in the shops they were selling those t-shirts, the different group. I could understand two different groups. And next day when you were coming back, next day means after 2 days, I was coming back, almost in the same way, some people they were coming, and all through in the aircraft, they were shouting, they were greeting each other. Another group, they were looking outside through the window and not joining in that. So one is pleasure, another is pain, and me indifferent, because I don't know any club or any group of that. The same effect are totally three. I felt it. Immediately I remembered the Samkhya. There's these three things, pleasure, pain, and indifference, and that is called Prakruti. Another characteristics of the Guna is change. Now the change or the transformation belongs to very essence of the Gunas. Now friends, just to remind you, because it's just like a college class. There's a philosophy, and that is very difficult philosophy, Samkhya. And the first part we have already discussed, and this is the second part about the creation. And the creation, they say, the creation must have come from something which is not the self, it's non-self, not self. And but that is the first cause. You cannot ask when it was created. First, they have given the name, the philosopher Samkhya, he have given the name Prakruti, Pradhana, Apyaktya. Same thing, three different names. Prakriti, Pradhana and Abhyaktya. Bhaktya, expression, Abhyakta. Now the Prakriti. How to understand the Prakriti? It is having three Gunas. And Gunas are not that way just an adjective. No, it is the components. The three Gunas. What are those three Gunas? Satya, Raja and Tama. Now, how I will know the Satya, Raja, Tama, the three Gunas is existing? Again, they go with the help of the inference. What is that inference? Inference is they are having three things in each and every action, in everything. What is that? Pleasure, pain, indifference. The pleasure is termed as, by the Samkhya, as a Satya. And Tama is the Dukkha, is the pain, Raja. And the Tama completely indifferent. So Satya, Raja, Tama. Now this, another characteristic of these Gunas are changing. They are constantly changing. The change or the transformation belongs to the very essence of the Gunas. And they cannot help changing even for a moment, constantly changing. And they cannot stop it, they cannot help it. Because of these changes, all these things are happening. Now we have come to almost to this ultimate part of the creation. According to Samkhya, what is that? They say again, they are going on changing. But what is this change? Swarupa Parinama, homogeneous change. The Satya is changing to Satya. Satya is constantly changing to Satya, homogeneous, no creation. If that is constantly now, of course that won't give the perfect example, but we can say the milk. First is the raw milk, then we are boiling it, the milk is becoming thick and thicker, but it is remaining the milk only. It's not creating anything else. Why? Because it is changing, but the changing, that is only Swarupa, in the same homogeneous changes. And that is why the changes are the main characteristics of the Gunas, but these Gunas changes in two different ways. One, homogeneous. Second, Virupa Parinama. Parinama means change. Parinama, change. Virupa Parinama, how? Heterogeneous changes. The moment the heterogeneous changes come, creates. Now that is the main thing, when that heterogeneous changes are coming. Now there was a potato, and potato is changing, sometimes bigger, sometimes round, sometimes long, different shapes. Potato is potato only. Now some people, they used that potato and fried it, and a change came. And naturally, that change is a not heterogeneous change. They fried means they add the oil, and that was change. And the same potato become totally different. And people are using it in other vegetables also and cooking. The same potato now, as a part of that, is changing. Heterogeneous changes. At the moment that is that, and different things are created. Only with the potato you cannot create that, but the mixing with the potato you can create that. So these are two different type of changes. One is Swarupa Parinama, if you can remember, Swarupa, the same character. Rupa means that same identity. So that is the Swa, same, no change. How the creation will come unless until it is mixing with others. Don't say it is a heterogeneous changes, so it started creating. The ultimate reality, now the Samkhya says, there is an ultimate reality. What is that? It is the self. And this self is different from body and the senses, and including the mind and the buddhi. The perfect, all Vedantin, they accept this. The self is completely different from the intellect up to the buddhi. Everything, all are different. It's not the self. Majority of the people, we think our mind is the self because it can cognize, it can imagine, it can think, it can produce. No, it is the reflection of the self. Friends, is really, when you talk about the religion, there is a God somewhere in the heaven, and the God is creating, and God through someone giving some list of do's and don'ts. It is so easy for us to understand. So the religion coming down in that fashion naturally become very popular, and it is easy for people. But when the same religion is taking this shape, where the philosophy is much more, is very difficult. The self is transcendent subject of experience. Intellect, mind, etc. must be guided and controlled by some intelligent principle, and that is the self. Now here, how can the real contact of the two contrary independent substance come in close? Real contact cannot be possible, as because it will be very difficult to remember and understand how the creation came. So I am distributing some of the write-ups which they have given how in the Samkhya, because it's so complicated and so many different things are there. I think that paper will help you. I will come to that afterwards. Now the main question is how the self, which is completely different, come in contact with the non-self. So in that, to answer that, they say no, there is no real contact, only nearness. There is no real contact. I am repeating, it's only nearness. It comes to that is sufficient. Now suppose the fire is coming near to us. What happens? Immediately the object to which that fire has come near to that, so obviously that also becomes very warm. It's very difficult to touch. Almost it changes like a fire. But is it truly the fire? If you just bring that close to, that effect comes. Similarly, the consciousness, the self, the Atman, the Brahman, according to the Vedantin, when it comes near to this non-self, changes come, the effect comes. So that is, and that change is called Guna Shobha. Guna means qualities, the three qualities, and Shobha, excited. These three, they become excited. And the moment they become excited, they mix with each other. And when they mix with each other, the creation starts. And that is the Samkhya is telling over here. Now, in the paper, you can see there are 24 tattvas, or evaluates of nature, evaluation of the nature. As a Samkhya, they say 24. In the center, there is a triangle, there is a Gunas. Gunas means, as we were discussing, they are three. What are the three Gunas? Sattva, Raja, and Tama. How it has been proved? Because they are qualities. What are the qualities? Pleasure, pain, indifference. The Satya is pleasure, then the next is pain, and the indifference is tamas. So it is in the center. And from it, when these three are completely indifferent, not mixed with each other, that's called Samkhya Avastha. That Samkhya Avastha, no creation. So what happens? When everything is destroyed, go back to the cause, Samkhya Avastha. Now the Indians, the Hindus particularly, they have created three gods. First is the Brahman, it is very difficult to understand. But we like to know who is creating. So they call it Vishnu. And then after the creation you have to maintain and you have to look after, you have to help to grow. Well, who is doing that? Then, the creation is the Brahma, then comes the Vishnu, then comes the destruction is the Shiva. Now the followers of Shiva are not happy. Why our God should destroy? He is a good man, why should he kill? Now the destruction doesn't mean that Shiva is always meditating. And in the meditation it comes the Samkhya Avastha, equilibrium. What is meditation? And what is not meditation? Constantly different thoughts are crossing our mind, that is not meditation. And when our mind goes back to one thought, completely calm and composed, no creation, only pleasure and nothing else, that is Shiva. When we explain like that, not we, not me, somebody, and then the Shiva followers became happy. Okay. The Shiva and the Vishnu and the Vishnu followers again. This is this is not in Samkhya. I'm just. Then the Vishnu followers again, they wanted to see their God big and the best. Then they said, the creator, the Brahma, where from he came? From Vishnu only. Vishnu, why should he work? So he created another person. Hey, you go and work. Because creation means lot of work. Vishnu has no time. So he created the Brahma out of his own navel. And the followers of Brahma are less actually. So that's why there is no fighting. Otherwise, the followers of Brahma would have, hey, what is it? Why my God should be created by your God? And you will never find the many followers of Brahma, a few only. But the Shiva followers came and protested. And then they say, no, not like that. Shiva means calm. And that is true. So creation means coming into contact of different type of qualities and the gunas, and different creation is coming. And after the creation, destruction means what? It is not the way we think that we are killing or breaking. Destruction means going back to the composed condition, and that is going back to the self. Not self means closer to the self. Now here, these three. And from these are coming 5 Gyanendriyas, 5 Karmendriyas, 5 Tanmatras, and 5 Mahabhutas. And here, Prakruti, then Buddhi, then Aham, this ego, and the Manas, mind. These are constantly changing. Here we find one is Purusha, another is Prakruti. Now, in conclusion, Samkhya means Purusha Prakriti. On the basis of this philosophy, some say our conception of Kali, goddess Kali, came, Purusha Prakriti. The Purusha is inactive, but consciousness. Out of that Purusha, nothing can happen. Purusha means not male body, always consciousness. And Prakriti, the same consciousness active. So here you will find that the Prakriti, and from the Prakriti, as if Mahat is created, Mahat is actually Buddhi, intellect. Is a human being, if he is not intelligent, is not giving respect, getting respect anywhere. Jada buddhi, sometimes the parents will be really suffering if the son or the daughter is jada buddhi. Everything is there, but intellect has not developed. So human being means intellect. It must have to have. So that comes from Prakruti to that's called Mahat, and they call it Buddhi. Then Ahamkara, and then from the Buddhi is come ego, I consciousness. If there is no I consciousness, nothing can happen. So that I consciousness should be there. But this I consciousness should not be considered as ego, rather, as Swami Vivekananda introduced, self-confidence. The self-confidence must be there. And from that comes Swatika, Rajasa and Tamas. Swatik, Raja and Tama. And from Satya is the Manas, then Pancha-indriya and Jnanendriya and Karmendriya. The Pancha-jnanendriya, what are the Pancha-jnanendriyas? The eye, then the nose, then the tongue, then the skin, then the ear. So Chakshu, Karna, Nasika, Jiva and Tak. These indriyas actually creating all problem. Why? It goes and brings the information. And they give the information to the mind. And the mind immediately analyze that and then react. Same as someone is coming and telling you, see, I went over there and this thing happened. Without judging or inquiring, if you accept that, then what happens? And completely different things are happening because of this. The wrong information, the wrong analysis. So this is the thing one must be very, very careful. And how to get the best meditation? By controlling these Pancha Jnanendriya. And Karmendriyas are only their supporter. Karmendriya has nothing to do. Unless and until the Jnanendriya will come and agitate the mind. So there is a beautiful thing is there, you must go and grab. Then the mind gets agitated. And it mind says the hand, hey, go and grab. Hand will work. Or otherwise, hand will never work. So who is responsible? It's not the mind even. It's not the ahamkara. It is that indriya. So for the meditation they say pratyahara. You have to withdraw. Ahara means feeding. You have to stop feeding. And when there is no feeding, that means your eyes are not going and bringing any information. Ear is not listening. There is no smell. What remains? Tranquility. And that is called Siva Avastha. And that's why Shiva is always meditating. And when that meditation breaks, Shiva dances, creation begins. There's that different type of conception. So from the Satya, Mana, Pancha, Jnanendriya, Karmendriya. From the Rajas actually in both. Without the Raja, even the Satya cannot work. Tamas also. Activity. So naturally, if you want to go and fight with someone, is a tamasic karma, but who is going? Raja must be there. The Raja is in both way you can utilize. And from the tamas it comes, the tamasa, tanmatras. And in India they call it is tanmatra. It is very, very important. In this shrine when you come, you feel like listening to the spiritual talk, feel like meditating, feel like praying. You won't feel coming over with a cup of coffee and socializing, shouting. No, you won't feel like that. You yourself is not here. So in the church you go, the atmosphere is such, you won't feel like talking loudly. So you go out. Why it is? Tanmatra we say. The good tanmatra. Tanmatra means you cannot feel. You cannot see, but you can feel. You cannot see, you cannot touch, but you can feel. The moment you enter over there And when you go to another place where the music is going on and the dancings are going on, the moment you go close to that, you hear the music, naturally you feel that, oh, when we will go enter and we join in the dance and the food and the merriment, all these things. How? Tanmatra. If you go to a restaurant and go for meditation, it's a wrong place. So obviously, why it is a wrong place? Tanmatra. But there are some, like Sri Ramakrishna, wherever they go, they transform, they change the Tanmatra. Swami Vivekananda changed the Tanmatra. There's a famous story in his life, Vivekananda's life. Just as an example, you can understand. There's some people, they were taking Vivekananda, they were walking actually, and it was Cairo. And none of them were very much acquainted in the local places. They went to a bad place where the ladies were all there. And the moment they saw this group is coming, from distance, our devotees, they understood. Immediately Swamiji's friends and followers, the Swamiji, please turn back. But instead, Swami Vivekananda went near to them. And that was a hell actually. But Vivekananda went over there and started uttering, oh my mothers, what you have done, where you have come, what you have made yourself. And they say, some of them, they ran inside the house, we cannot bear his presence. And some of them came and started kissing his shoe. And they were praising him in their own language. So Vivekananda, the powerful spirituality, transformed the Tanmatra from tamas to sattva. So the Tanmatra is very, very important. And that is why they say in our ancient time, all our houses, Indian houses, early morning, the lady of the house should get up and take some incense sticks and go on visiting all the rooms, chanting the name of God. So in the other members of the family, because the youngsters, when they get up, they get a good, very good smell, and then they hear the voice of the mother chanting the name of God, Tanmatra is created. So that is the main thing. So from the Tanmatras, the Shabda, Sparsha, Rupa, Rasa and Gandha. And Shabda is Akasha. And Akashat, Vayu. Baya, Agni, this is Teja. And then Apa, then Prithvi. So our last thing is Tasmat ba etasmat Akasha sambhutah. Tasmat ba etasmat. These in the Sanskrit. Akasha. And that is all, not is the sky. The Akasha is the firmament, we can say. And Akasha is something completely covering everything. That is Akasha. And from the Akasha, Vayu. Vayu, Agni. Agni, Apa, that means water, and Prithvi. Now friends, that is the reason in the Hindu temple you will find when they are doing the Arati, the most of the time they will do with these 5 things. Sometimes in America, they make it short, they only show the light and they stop. But these 5 things, Akasha, what is the symbol of the Akasha? You will see that the worshipper is showing a cloth like this. What is that cloth for? Akasha. Then Vayu, they will, the fanning, so that is Vayu. Teja, they will show the light, the fire. Then the upper, you will find that one conch filled with water, they are showing, that is the upper. And then the Prithvi, what is the symbol of Prithvi? Who can say? Flower. That is correct. The flower is the, we can show the earth also, but that doesn't look good. So, the Hindus are very aesthetics. That's why a symbol of the earth is the flower, and they will be showing the flower. Oh God, I want to give you something, but I have nothing, including me. Each and everything is created by you. What I can give? I give only my devotion. I give only my love. And that is called Mahabhutas. It comes. Thank you very much. This is the creation according to the Samkhya philosophy. Friends, in the next weekend, we'll be having the wonderful this retreat. Those who have not yet registered but they are interested to go, please register your name. Unless you register, our devotees, our volunteers, they cannot allot the rooms. And that is the main problem. Then, understanding that this many people are coming, we will be naturally taking the provision. All the provisions, they go from here. So suddenly if you come over there, where from we will give the food? One group of people from nearby place, in a bus full of people, 50, 55. They came, oh no, we have come to the mother's house. And who said mother's house? The father is standing over here. No food. Without information, if you come, how can you cook? Even in the Belur Math also, there is problem. So just inform. I am coming and coming on such and such time. That's all. Nothing else. Just inform and register. And this Swami is a very good speaker. Of course, inference. I have not pratyaksha. I have not heard him directly. But many people, they said, when I went to Washington DC, some of the ladies, they were telling, oh, he, like this, he showed to the sky. That means unlimited. So good. So that means he must be a very good speaker. On the inference, I can say, please come, you'll enjoy. And after that, we will come. This, please remember, we will come back on Sunday, and then after the lunch, we will come back over here, we'll take a little rest, and then we will go to Hindu Temple Lemont. This Hindu Temple Lemont, they are helping me, the Vedanta Society, a lot. And there, not only they are giving them passage money, all of them, all these people are coming. And secondly, organizing a program over there that is Sisters Nivedita's 150th birth anniversary program. Swami will also speak on a topic, and one lady, professor, she is coming, she will also speak. Then there will be almost 45 minutes, beautiful cultural program. Last time it was Bhangra, the Punjabi dance. Like that program will be there. Then they offer the food to each and everyone who goes over there. But sometimes, this is really, I feel shame. They are all rich people. Indian people, no one is the poor. And they can afford their food. But I don't know why. Only 10 minutes before that, when it is almost closed, they know this time the food will be, they will be there. Just 10 minutes before. It's a shame, really. I feel really shy. So why you should behave like this? Either you go or don't go. Otherwise, people, they talk about this. And I don't know them, but I feel insulted because I was born in the same country. And please don't do this. At least not you. So I should be proud of you in this way, that you are going over there in right time. Of course you enjoy the food, and they offer it very lovingly and with great respect they offer it. Please go, have that, but go for the purpose. Purpose is not the food, purpose is the program. Thank you very much. Please don't misunderstand me. So from out of love only, I feel like telling this. And let us chant 3 times the Shanti Mantra, then we will go down and have the lunch. Repeat after me. Om Shanti. Om Shanti. Om Shanti. Harihi Om Tat Sat.